Bellies, foreheads down, hips back, and just take a few deep breaths here. So really breathing deeply into the belly as you inhale. And as you exhale, soften into your mat. Allow your head to be heavy, belly is soft. Hips are heavy. Take a big inhale. And exhale, soften a little bit more into your mat. Releasing any tension or tightness held in the body. And if it feels nice here, you might like to roll your forehead on the mat side to side, really gently just massaging out your forehead here, your third eye, seat of our intuition. Connecting with the earth, connecting with your breath, your practice. And then as you inhale next, come back to center, lengthen through the spine, reach those fingertips forward. Can you send your hips a little further back as you exhale? We'll do one more like that, find length as you inhale. And as you exhale, melt a little bit more into the mat. Keep that length as you send your hips back, reach your fingertips forward. Come up onto the fingertips as you inhale and walk them over towards the right side. Keep your hips glued to your heels as you lower your chest and forehead down. Find that stretch all the way from the left hip up to the fingertips. So you can always take left hand on top of right if you want a deeper stretch here. We'll take an inhale and an exhale. Come up onto the fingertips, walk them back to center and then all the way across to the other side. Melt your chest, your forehead down, exhale. Keep your hips glued to heels, especially right hip down. Find that stretch all the way from the outer right hip up to the fingertips. Take one more breath. If you want to, take right hand over left, you can. Exhale here. Come back up onto your fingertips, walk your hands forward. And then can draw yourself forward into your tabletop position. So knees are underneath your hips, hands underneath your shoulders. Spread the fingertips nice and wide here. And check your belly is engaged. You haven't got that dumping in the lower back and that arch here. Draw that belly in towards your spine. Find length through the back of the body, from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Take an inhale. And an exhale, cat and cow here. So now we lift the tailbone, drop the belly, but still keep it engaged, drawing towards the spine as you draw your chest forward. Chin lifts away from the chest, shoulders down away from the ears. As you exhale, press into your hands, roll that space between the shoulder blades up towards the ceiling. Really press into the hands through the tops of the feet and squeeze your belly in towards your spine even more. Inhale, roll forward into your cow pose. Lift the tailbone, lift the chin away from the chest as you exhale. Round the chin to chest, press into the hands, press into the feet. Arch that space between the shoulders and just stay with this movement with your breath for a few rounds. Inhaling draws you up. Exhaling, press into the mat, arch that space. So just stay with your breath. Warming up through the spine. If you want to take this into any other movement, you can. If you want to circle the hips, maybe circle through the head as well, getting a few neck rolls in there, but just be mindful of how you feel in your body this morning. And then we'll come back to center. We're going to tuck the toes behind you and just come to sit onto the heels. So we're coming into a little toe stretch here. Check that your little pinky toe is untucked. So if you're quite tight on the backs of your feet, this might feel a little uncomfortable. We're not here for too long. Try to keep the weight onto your heels. So tuck that tailbone under and sit the weight through your sit bones, nice and tall through the spine. Inhale, sweep the hands up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, take your right hand down, your left hand over. And again, keep those hips glued to your heels. So just like we did in our child's pose. Inhale, come back to center. Use the core to help you lift up As you exhale, left hand down, right hand over. Keep that chest open towards the ceiling. Inhale, come up. We'll do one more each side. Exhale, right hand down, left hand over. Keep that belly tucked in, tailbone tucked. Inhale, come up. Last one. Exhale, left hand down, right hand over. Come back to center as you inhale. Exhale, hands through heart center. And then place them down onto the earth. We're going to stay with those toes tucked, but lift the knees off the mat. That should provide you a little bit of release here. Coming into our little squat. So hands to your heart. See if you can balance for a few breaths. Keep that core engaged, long through the spine. And you can stay here if you want a little bit of a hip stretch or an inner thigh stretch. Then spread the knees out wide. Place the hands down onto the mat and squeeze the heels together. As you do that, you'll feel your inner thighs switch on, your outer hips and glutes switch on as you squeeze those knees a little bit wider. Again, you can stay here. If you want to walk your hands forward for a little spine stretch, then stretch forward here and fold. You can also take your hands behind your heels and squeeze your chest down towards your toes even more. So lots of options for this pose. We'll stay for another 2 breaths. Keep that spine nice and long. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath here. And then walk those hands back onto the mat. Walk yourself forward into your tabletop position again. Untuck the toes and just tap the feet on the mat. Maybe swing the hips side to side. Release that out here. Again, we turn that core on by drawing it in towards the spine. We're going to extend the right leg behind you. Flex the toes and squeeze the glute on the right side. Belly is engaged, hips are square. Stay here or extend your left arm out as well in front of you. Thumb up towards the ceiling. Gaze towards the top of your mat. Belly engaged. Stay here for an inhale. As you exhale, elbow to knee underneath the body. Squeeze that belly in. Inhale, extend. You can always just do this with the leg. Hand down. Exhale, elbow to knee. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee. Squeeze here. Inhale, extend. Keep that back leg extended. As you exhale, lower that left hand down. So keeping that back foot flexed, we're going to spin the toes to turn towards the right side of the room. Hips still stay square, but you'll feel your outer hip, your glute switch on here. We're just going to pulse for 5. Squeeze that right leg up. 4, 3. Keep that toes turned out. 2. And then 1. Come back to the center. Stay with those toes turning out. Take an inhale. Belly is lifted. As you exhale, squeeze that right knee towards your right elbow. Inhale, extend, keep the toes flexed out. Exhale, squeeze, elbow to knee. Keep squeezing that glute on the right side. One more, inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee. Kick back out, inhale. Spin the toes back down to the mat. Tuck the left toes. Walk the hands slightly further forward. We're going to lift the belly, lift that left knee off the mat as you press into your downward facing dog, but 3 legs. So right leg is lifted, left leg down. Lift that left heel, inhale. As you exhale, lower that left heel down to the mat. Find that calf stretch here. Inhale, lift the heel. Keep that right leg nice and long. Exhale, lower the left heel down. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Left heel down, and then bend that right knee. Open up the hips, that right hip on top of the left, keeping your shoulder blades square to the mat. See if you can get that right knee to be the highest point of your pose. Press that left heel into the mat. Find length down the back of that leg. One more inhale here. Exhale, come back, drop that right foot down, find your downward facing dog. Pen out the feet just for a few breaths here. First downward facing dog of the practice. So check hands to shoulder width, feet hip width distance. Roll your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale. Belly towards your thighs. As you exhale, maybe lower those heels a little bit more towards the earth. Roll forward into your plank pose. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower the knees and press yourself into your tabletop position. So just walk your hands back slightly. Hips are over your knees. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So belly engaged. You're going to extend your left leg behind you, flex the toes so they're turning down towards the mat. Right hand optional, can extend out here as well. Lift the belly towards the spine, take an inhale. As you exhale, elbow to knee underneath the body. Inhale, extend, thumb up towards the ceiling. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, last one here. Exhale, squeeze underneath the body. Inhale, extend. Keep that left leg lifted as you drop your hand down. Flex the toes now out towards the left side of the room. So squeezing that glute on the left side, that outer glute. We're going to pulse here for 5. Squeeze. 4. Lift. 3. 2. And 1. Squeeze it up. Keep that foot lifted. Stay here for the inhale as you exhale. Squeeze elbow to knee or knee to elbow on the left side. Inhale, extend. As you exhale, knee to elbow. Squeezing the obliques here. Inhale. Exhale, last one. Inhale, kick back. Keep the toes flexed. Tuck the right toes, walk the hands slightly further forward. Lift that right knee off the mat as you send your left foot up and back, 3-legged dog. Square those hips. Lift the right heel. Inhale. As you exhale, lower that heel to the mat. 2 more. Inhale. Press through both hands evenly. Exhale. Square the hips. Last one. Inhale. As you exhale, lower that right heel down. Bend the left knee and stack left hip over your right. Keeping those shoulders square. So pressing that right heel down into the mat as you lift that left knee up towards the ceiling, trying to be the highest point of this pose. Take 1 more breath here. Downward facing dog as you exhale, pedal the feet out. And then find stillness for a couple of breaths. Roll those triceps under, send your shoulders back towards your hips. Relax through the neck, shake it yes and no. If you need to check if you're holding tension there, take 1 more inhale. And exhale. Look forward. Start to tiptoe your feet all the way up to the top of your mat to find your ragdoll. So feet are hip width distance. You can test it by placing 2 fists in between your feet, knuckles facing forward. Bend your knees as much as you need here to draw your belly towards your thighs, and then grab opposite elbow. Release through the head, through the shoulders, the neck. Release any tension in your jaw, that space between your eyebrows. And just breathe here. Maybe you swing gently from side to side. Feel that release down the back of the body. We'll stay for another inhale. And then exhale, release the hands down towards the mat. Take a bend in the knees and then bring the weight to the heels as you roll all the way up to standing, 1 vertebrae at a time. When you're at the top, roll the shoulders back a few times. Find space through the chest. And then just roll them forward a few times. Before we come into Samastitihi, so big toes to touch, slight gap between the heels. Tuck your tailbone, draw your belly in, hands to your heart center. Close your eyes here if you wish. Maybe you set an intention for your practice this morning. Or just take a moment of gratitude. Think about those things that you are grateful for in your life today. Dedicate your practice to those things, those people, those places. And take an inhale. Sigh out, exhale. Sweep the hands up towards the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. Press through the feet, reach through the fingertips. As you exhale, fold with a flat back, lift the belly. Uttanasana. Halfway lift as you inhale, so fingertips to the mat or your shins, lengthen through the spine, squeeze those shoulder blades together. As you exhale, fold. Step your right foot to the back of your mat, drop your right knee down, and untuck the right toes. Press through the top of that foot and the sole of the left foot as you sweep those hands up for your low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Squeeze those inner thighs together. Squeeze your left hip back, your right hip forward. One breath here, lengthen through the sides of the body. As you exhale, cactus the arms, maybe take a little back bend. Inhale, come up to center. As you exhale, frame the front foot. Inhale, lengthen, lift the belly. As you exhale, send your hips back towards that right heel, flex the left toes up. Inhale, come forward. Place the right hand down, left hand up towards the ceiling. Take your twist, exhale. Inhale, drop that left hand down, tuck the back toes, lift the knee and step back into your plank pose. Take a breath here, shoulders over the wrist, press that space between the shoulder blades up to the ceiling. As you exhale, shift the weight forward slightly, drop the knees, squeeze the elbows into your side body, lower chest and chin. Untuck the toes, lower the hips, slide the chest forward, squeeze elbows down to your hips as you inhale, exhale, lower down. Tuck the toes, press into the hands, come through tabletop child's pose, or press into your plank before downward facing dog. Send those hips up high. Stay here for a breath. Exhale. Look forward, step your right foot in between your hands at the top of the mat. Lower the back knee down, untuck the back toes, press through the top of that back foot and the sole of the front, sweep the hands up towards the sky. Squeeze inner thighs together, right hip back, left hip forward. Belly towards the spine, lengthen through the sides of the body, inhale. As you exhale, cactus the arms, maybe a little back bend here. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, frame the front foot, lengthen on the inhale, lift the belly, crown the head forward. As you exhale, half split, send those hips back, flex the right toes up. Come forward as you inhale, left hand down, right hand up, inhale. And then exhale, sweep that right hand down, untuck the back toe, or tuck the back toe, sorry. Look forward, bring weight into your right foot as you step your left foot up to meet it. Uttanasana, forward fold. Sweep those hands all the way up towards the ceiling, inhale. And then exhale, Samastitihi. Second round, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Reach those hands up, press through the feet, reach through the fingertips. Exhale, fold with a flat back. Uttanasana, halfway, inhale. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Lower the back knee down, untuck the toes, sweep the hands up, inhale. As you exhale, cactus the arms, baby back bend if it's there for you. Inhale, come up. Exhale, frame the front foot, lift the belly, lengthen here. As you exhale, hips back, flex the right toes. Come forward as you inhale, left hand down, right hand up, take your twist. Inhale here. As you exhale, right hand down, tuck the back toes, step back into your plank as you inhale, and then exhale, knees, squeeze the elbows into your side body, chest and chin. Untuck the toes, lower the hips, slide the chest forward, inhale. Exhale, lower down. Tuck the toes, press through plank, tabletop, or child's pose as you come back to your downward facing dog. Look forward to take your left foot in between your hands, top of the mat, drop the right knee down. Untuck the toes, sweep the hands up, inhale, low lunge. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, come up. Exhale, frame the front foot, lengthen as you inhale. Exhale, send your hips back, half splits, left toes up. Come forward as you inhale, right hand down, left hand up, twist. Take a breath here as you exhale, left hand down, tuck the back toes, lift the knee, look forward, step forward, right foot up to meet the left, forward fold. All the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, inhale. As you exhale, hands through heart center. Take a breath here. We're going to flow that sequence 2 more times. There's a modification if you want to come up off your knee. So just a more extended version of some of these poses. Otherwise, stay with the flow that we have just done. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, sweep the hands up. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold with a flat back. Halfway, inhale. Exhale, fold, step your right foot back. Option to drop the knee or keep it lifted. Sweep the hands up this time, high lunge. Press that right heel back. Left knee draws forward. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, come up. As you exhale, frame the front foot. Keep that back knee lifted. And then exhale, send the hips back. Lift the left toes, come up onto the heel. Straighten that leg so you've got a nice hamstring stretch here. Squeeze that left hip back, right hip forward. Come forward, bend that left knee, right hand down, left hand up. Open twist with that back knee lifted. Inhale. Exhale, frame the front foot, step back to your plank. This time option, full chaturanga or knees, chest, chin, your choice. Upward or cobra. Downward facing dog, or meet downward facing dog. Side out, exhale. Look forward, step your right foot to the top of the mat. Back heel is lifted, back knee is lifted if it's there for you. Sweep the hands up, high lunge. As you exhale, cactus the arms open. Inhale, come back up, exhale. Frame the front foot, take a breath here, lengthen. As you exhale, send the hips back, lift the right toes up off the mat. Come forward as you inhale, left hand down, right hand up, open that twist. And then exhale, frame the front foot, step through the right foot as you press the left foot up to meet it, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the hands up towards the ceiling, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Samastiti. One more round, inhale. Exhale, fold. Halfway, inhale. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Option to drop the knee if you wish. Sweep the hands up, inhale. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, frame the front foot, left hand down. Oh no, we're sending our hips back. Right toes lift up. Fold forward. Inhale, come forward, bend that right knee, left hand down, right hand up, open twist. As you exhale, plant that right hand down, step back to your plank, move through chaturanga or knees, chest, chin, your choice. Downward facing dog. Look forward, left foot in between the hands, top of the mat. Rise up, inhale. Cactus, exhale. Inhale. Exhale, both hands down. Lengthen on the inhale. As you exhale, send your hips back, lift the left toes up. Inhale, come forward, right hand down, left hand up, reach. And then as you exhale, frame that front foot, step the right foot up to meet it, forward fold. Urdhva Hastasana, inhale. Exhale, Samastiti. Close the eyes or soften the gaze, take a few breaths here. Thumbs to your heart center, feel your heartbeat. Check in with your body, your breath. Take an inhale here. Sigh it out, exhale. Sweep the hands up towards the ceiling, inhale. As you exhale, sweep the hands behind your back. Find a clasp, squeeze the palms together, lift the chest as you inhale. As you exhale, lift the belly and fold with a flat back. Nose towards your knees. If you need to widen your feet here for more balance, then bring your feet to hip width distance. And we'll just stay here for a couple of breaths. Keep squeezing those palms together as you draw your hands forward and your nose towards your knees. So lift your belly to fold deeper. Bring the weight to the balls of the feet if it's shifted all the way into the heels. Take an inhale. And release the arms as you exhale towards the mat. So we're still in our forward fold. If your feet are widened, bring them back together, big toes to touch, slight gap between the heels. Squeeze the knees and the inner thighs together as you sit the bum back and sweep the hands up for your chair pose. Tuck your tailbone, lift your belly, lift your chest. Biceps in line with your ears. Stay here for an inhale. Can you see your toes in front of your knees? If not, send the weight back slightly into the heels and lift that chest a little bit more. Take another breath here. Samasthiti. Exhale, stand tall, hands at heart center. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, sweep the hands up. As you exhale, take the hands behind your back again, opposite index finger on top for the opposite clasp. Squeeze the palms together. And once again, fold with a flat back, lift the belly. Come forward. Again, widen the feet if you need. Keep squeezing those palms. Nose to knee, lift the belly, fold from the hips. Take an inhale. Exhale, release those hands to the mat. Once again, squeeze knees and thighs together. Come up to your Utkatasana chair pose. Just for an inhale here, squeeze the belly, lift the chest. As you exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Keeping your hands at your heart center, draw your right knee up towards your chest, balance on that left foot. So flex the right toes. Good. So we're protecting the knee. Stay here for an inhale. As you exhale, start to take that right foot to the back of your mat, setting up for our high lunge. Just for an inhale here. As you exhale, lower that right heel down. Toes are about 45-degree angle on your mat. We're in our warrior 2 stance, warrior 1 stance, sorry. So your left knee is over your left ankle. Hips are square to the front of the mat. So if you need to widen your stance, you can do so here. Squeeze that right hip forward as you draw your left hip back. Hands up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale. Really press through the outer edge of that right foot. Maybe go a little bit deeper in that left knee as you exhale. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, open up to warrior 2. Maybe walk your stance a little wider on your mat. Back foot is now parallel with the back edge of your mat. Left knee still bent over that left ankle. So here, remember that squeeze on the glute on the left side we did at the beginning of practice. Squeeze that glute again as you tuck your tailbone under, squeeze your inner thighs under, and then back behind you. So really working into those outer hips, those glutes. Can you lengthen a little bit through the arms, and as you exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Stay here for one more breath. And exhale. Left elbow leans onto your left knee as you reach your right hand up and over. Find extended side angle. Now, I know sometimes people go a little bit deeper, left hand towards the mat, but here we're going to keep squeezing that left glute and reach that left hand out as well, in line with the right, if it's there for you. Work the core a little bit more here. We're going to stay for an inhale and an exhale. And then sweep that right hand back, left hand up, lengthen through both legs. Reverse triangle, inhale. Nice release, exhale, arms out long. Walk your right foot in slightly, shorten your stance. We're coming into regular triangle. So take your right hip all the way back. Reach your left hand forward, forward, forward before you allow it to come down either to your shin, your foot, maybe peace fingers around your big toe. Squeeze again, that left glute in and under, so hip tucks under the right. Shoulder blades are flat to a wall behind you. Gaze is up to those right fingertips. If it's too much on the neck, take your gaze down. That's where we're going next. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bend that left knee, walk your left hand out. So it's at the top left corner of your mat. And we're going to transition into our half moon. My head's going to go through this cabinet. So take your right foot up behind you, float it, flex the toes, just like we did at the beginning of practice in our tabletop. Belly is engaged. Maybe your gaze goes up to that top hand. Take an inhale. As you exhale, keep that right leg lifted. Float your right hand down to the mat. Rest on both fingertips. Squeeze your belly in. Can you bring your hands to your heart center? And slowly rise up, pressing through that left foot. Draw your right knee up to your chest. You can tap down if you need to on the way up. I'm going to move back. So we're in our staff pose once again. I'm just going to turn to face you, but you guys can stay facing top of your mat. You're going to keep that right foot flexed and squeeze the glute on the right side and the outer hip as you take that right knee out. And it's like we're going to set up for tree pose, but we're not going to bring that foot to the thigh just yet. So just work into that motion of squeezing that right hip and that glute under. So we're really opening as much as we can on that right knee. Good. So can we stand tall still, draw belly in, spine is long. Stay here. And then if, without bringing your hand to your foot, if you can get that foot up towards your inner thigh, come into your tree. If it's on your knee, take it a little bit deeper and come down onto, or lower, sorry, come down onto the shin on the left side. But as we did that, just notice, did you lose that connection with that glute and hip? Keep squeezing so you can open a little bit more here. Don't worry, we're going to come into regular tree now. For all those people who want to grab your foot to bring it up towards your left thigh, you can do so now. Squeeze that heel and your inner thigh together. Keep opening through that right knee as you squeeze the glute. Squeeze that right hip forward and open here. Take one more breath. Find that point of focus. As you exhale, come back to your staff pose, top of the mat. Right knee bent. Stay here for an inhale. As you exhale, we're going to transition warrior three. Lift the belly. Lots of balancing on this left leg. You're going to get a break in a moment. Press that right heel to the back of the room. Crown of the head shoots forward. Stay here for the inhale. Start to bend that left knee down. Drop the right toes down. Frame the front foot. Press into the hands and then release that left foot. Kick it up, three-legged dog. So that should feel like a nice release for that left leg. Stay here for the breath in. Bend the left knee and then stack left hip on top of the right. Open up here. Keep your shoulder blades square, open through the hips. Come forward, shoulders over your wrists. Stay here for the inhale. If you want to come into wild thing, then drop your left foot down behind you. Reach that left hand up and back and press the hips up towards the ceiling. Otherwise, stay in your three-legged dog. We're going to come transition now from your wild thing or three-legged into our side plank. So left foot, on top of your right. You can always drop your right knee down, come into modified side plank. We're here for an inhale. Lift that left hip up. As you exhale, both hands down and chaturanga. Inhale, upward or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Woo. So lots of balances in that flow. Take a big inhale. And exhale. Look forward. Step or jump to the top of your mat. Find your halfway lift as you inhale. As you exhale, forward fold. Urdhva Hastasana, sweep those hands up towards the sky. As you exhale, hands through heart center. Just take another breath here. We're going to set up for this flow or this sequence on the other side. So when you're ready, bringing your left knee up towards your chest. Flex that left foot. We're in our staff pose. Really press firmly through the right foot. Big toe, little toe, and the heel. Stay here for an inhale. As you exhale, slowly start to step that left foot to the back of your mat, coming into your high lunge. Just for a breath here, take an inhale. As you exhale, lower that left heel down, toes at 45-degree angles, set up for warrior one. Right knee over your right ankle. Hands reach up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale here. And an exhale. Shoulders draw down away from the ears. Belly is lifted, hips are square. One more breath. Can you press through the outer edge of that left foot as you sink a little bit deeper into that right knee? Exhale. Inhale, stay. Open up to warrior two as you exhale. So you can widen your stance on the mat. Back foot now parallel with the back edge of your mat. Right knee over your right ankle. Again, squeeze that right glute. Tuck your inner thigh under and then back behind you. So really engaging through the outer hip and glute on the right side. Sink a little bit deeper as you exhale. One more breath. Lengthen through the arms. Drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Stay for the exhale. And then elbow to knee here on the right side. Sweep that left hand up and over. You can stay here. Lengthen through both sides of the body. Keep that squeeze in the right glute. Or if you want the challenge for the core as well, extend your right arm out. Good. Stay here for an inhale. And an exhale. Sweep up and back, straight through both legs. Reverse triangle. Inhale. And exhale. Arms out wide. Take that left foot in slightly. Shorten the stance. Turn the left toes in. Kick that left hip to the back of the room as you reach your right hand forward. Lengthen through both sides of the body before you drop that right hand down, either to your shin, your ankle, your foot, or peace fingers around your big toe. When you're there, tuck that right hip under, left hip back. Squeeze the right glute. Important as well here that we're lifting out of those knees, so engage the thighs. Engage the calves, draw up and away from the ankles, protect those joints. Left shoulder draws back even more. Take an inhale. As you exhale, gaze down to your right foot if it's not there already. Bend your right knee. Walk your right hand to the top corner of the mat. As you slowly float that left leg up, flex the toes. Press through that right foot. Floating half moon. You can play around with maybe floating that, maybe grabbing a hold of your right ankle. Core stays engaged, chest is open. Stay here for an inhale. And exhale, lower your left fingertips to the mat. Keep that left leg lifted, hips now square, toes are flexed. Hands to your heart center, lift the belly, stay for an inhale. As you exhale, slowly start to come all the way up. Micro bend that right knee as you rise. Left knee up towards your chest. Stay for the breath in. We're going to do that opening again on the left side. So squeezing that left glute As you open that left knee out and really engage through that outer hip as well. Keep the foot flexed, protect the knee. Press firmly through that right foot. Stay tall and long through the spine. So you should really feel this working into that outer hip, the glute on the left side. Stay for an inhale. And then if you can get that heel without touching your foot up towards your thigh, then take it there. If not, connect it with the shin on the right side. But keep squeezing that glute to open up that left knee. Stay here for an inhale. If you want to go for your full tree, then grabbing your foot and squeezing that heel up towards your inner thigh. Just don't press it anywhere on the knee. Again, keep squeezing on that glute to open the knee. So we're really finding that opening here. Press the inner thigh and heel together. One more breath. And then exhale, come back to center, left knee towards your chest. Press firmly through that right foot. Last standing balance here. We're going to slowly take that left leg behind, coming into warrior three. Lift the belly, lengthen through the spine, lift the chest, and kick that left heel back. Stay for an inhale. As you exhale, bend that right knee, lower the hands to the mat, and slowly lower the left toes down. Press through the hands, kick the right foot up, three-legged dog. Inhale. As you exhale, bend that right knee and open up, stack the hips right on top of the left. Square the shoulders. Good, stay here for an inhale. You can stay in three-legged dog or shift forward into your three-legged plank. Shoulders over wrists. You can stay here as well if you want. Otherwise, flip your dog, come into your wild thing if it's in your practice. Right hand reaches up and back. Press those hips up. Inhale. We're going to all meet in our side plank. So exhale, left hand down. Right foot on top of the left. Option to drop that left knee if you wish. Squeeze the left side body. Lift that right hip up. Take an inhale. As you exhale, right hand down. High plank. And then move through your chaturanga. Upward or cobra. Downward facing dog. Everybody take a big breath in here. Sigh out, exhale. Drop the knees wide on your mat, big toes to touch. Send the hips back to your heels, forehead and chest down, child's pose. Allow the belly to be soft. And just take some really deep belly breaths. Remember that intention you set at the beginning of your practice, or that moment of gratitude you had dedicating your practice to something or someone. Just remind yourself of that here as you breathe deeply. Connect again with your breath, with your practice. And then when you're ready, coming back to your tabletop position. Hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, send the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. We're going to lift the heels, look forward, this time to seated. Bend the knees, step or jump through. You can always step if you want to. And then legs out long for Dandasana. So just untuck that fleshy part of your bum from underneath you. We're going to ground through the sit bones, sit nice and tall here. Roll your inner thighs down to the mat. And squeeze those legs nice and tight so the heels may lift off the mat here. If you find it hard to sit tall and you're slumping through your back, then just bring a block or a book or something to sit on, or a cushion, so you're able to sit tall here. Reach those hands up towards the ceiling, lengthen through the sides of the body. Squeeze that pelvic floor in, that Mula Bandha, in and up through the center of your body. Really lift here. This is a strong pose. Take one more inhale. Everything is engaged. As you exhale, fold from the hips with a flat back. Reach for the outer edges of your feet. Maybe hands just rest either side of the legs. Or you might get peace fingers around your big toes. As you lengthen on the inhale, send those hips back even more. And then as you exhale, fold deeper. We're going to stay for 5 breaths. So if you need to have a micro bend in your knee, that's absolutely fine. You might have really tight hamstrings. But just try to think about lengthening on the inhales. And then as you exhale, folding deeper, but keeping that length through the spine. 3 more breaths here. Keep those toes flexed. Legs are engaged. Last inhale. And exhale. And then release the feet, the mat, the toes as you come all the way up. We're going to place the hands behind your back, fingertips pointing forward. Bend the knees so the soles of the feet are on the mat, coming into reverse tabletop. So before we lift the hips, squeeze those shoulder blades together behind you. Send your chest forward as you inhale. As you exhale, press into the hands and feet and lift those hips up off the mat. Drop the head back if it feels okay for you. Squeeze the glutes, lift the hips a little higher. Inhale. And then as you exhale, lower all the way down. Sit the bum onto the mat, knees are still bent. We're going to come into Navasana, boat pose. So a few options. You can stay with your toes or your heels down. Lift through the belly, lift the chest up and straighten through the spine. You can stay here and reach your hands forward. If you want to take the heels or the toes off the mat, lean back a bit further. And float those feet off the mat. Reach those hands forward. Keep drawing those shoulders down away from the ears. If you want to go a little bit further, straighten through the legs. Maybe you reach your hands up towards the ceiling. Whew, that's hard. Take an inhale. We're going into low boat as we exhale. Don't drop your shoulders or your feet on the mat just yet. Squeeze that belly into your spine. Inhale, come up. Exhale, low boat, belly to spine. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come up. And then exhale, cross the ankles. Plant the hands down, step or jump back through a flow or straight to downward facing dog. Through the backs of the legs, through the belly. And then when you're ready, right leg lifts up towards the ceiling, 3-legged dog. As you exhale, take your right knee over towards your right wrist, ankle towards the left. We're setting up for pigeon pose. So start to walk your left leg long on the mat behind you, untuck the toes. And if you need a block or a book or a cushion underneath your right hip to square them off here, you can do so here. So we're just going to stay lifted for the first few breaths. Flex the right foot so you're protecting the knee on that right side. Squeeze your right hip back and your left hip down. So you can even bring your left hand to your outer left hip and press it down into the earth for a little self-adjustment. As you do that, draw your right hip back behind you. So we're really getting that forward and backwards motion here. As you keep that connection with left hip drawing down, you can release the hand if you like and start to walk onto your elbows. Lengthen through the spine as you inhale. And then if you've got the space, I don't have the space in front of me today, but you can start to straighten out through your arms and lower your forehead and chest down. And we're going to stay here for 5 long breaths. Check that you're still connected through that back of the body. So still pressing down through the top edge of that left foot will give you a little bit more engagement in this pose, engagement in the hips. It will allow you to draw that left hip down. 3 more breaths. Last inhale. And then slowly start to walk your way back up to center as you exhale. We're going to drop onto that right hip and swing your left leg around so the left foot comes to the outer edge of your right thigh for a seated twist. You can always extend your right leg long underneath you if that's a little bit easier. Otherwise, right knee bent. Squeeze your belly in. Press both sit bones into the mat. Sit nice and tall as you inhale. As you exhale, take your left hand behind you, and you can either squeeze that right knee into your chest, just hooking your arm around the knee, or hook your elbow over and open the chest a little bit more towards the left side. If you've got the space in your neck, take your gaze over your back shoulder. Keep lengthening through the spine as you inhale. And then exhale, come back to center. Cross the ankles the other way that you did from last time. We're going to roll over, step or jump back, move through your flow, or straight to downward facing dog. Your choice. Inhale your left leg up. Exhale, knee to rest on the left side, ankle to right wrist. And keeping that foot flexed, set up for your pigeon pose. So again, check that that back leg is down the center of your mat, toes are untucked. And start to lower your hips down, just keeping them square here. So bring that pillow or block underneath that left glute if you want to. Foot is flexed, lengthen as you inhale. Maybe you bring your right hand to your right hip and press that hip down into the mat as you squeeze your left hip back behind you. So we're getting that push and pull motion here. And staying here or dropping onto the elbows, keeping that squaring motion of the hips. You can stay on your elbows, lengthening through the spine. If you want to rest all the way down, you can lower your forehead and chest down onto the mat. You can always stack your fists as well and allow your forehead to rest on those fists. We're going to take 5 breaths here. So just noticing where you've maybe transitioned any tension to in your body. If you're really feeling this in the hips, we might be gripping instead through our fingertips, maybe scrunching up through our forehead or clenching the jaw. Shoulders may have crept up towards the ears. Just see if you can release any tension in the body as you exhale. Breathe into those hips. Take one more breath here. And then slowly start to walk your hands back to center. We're going to drop onto that left hip and swing your right leg around so the foot comes to the outer edge of your thigh. Again, you can extend that left leg long on the mat if that's better for you. Both sit bones down, sit nice and tall, and then take your right hand behind you. Lengthen as you inhale. Hug that right knee in as you exhale and twist, or hook the left elbow over your right knee and open that chest towards the right side of the room. Gaze over your back shoulder if it's there for you. One more breath here. And exhale, come back to center. We're just going to stay in this seated position here. We're going to take, I'm going to turn to face you, but you can stay facing the front of your mat if you've got the room, taking our legs out long, just for a final stretch here for the legs. So legs out wide, sorry. Toes are flexed. Again, we can untuck that fleshy part of our bum from behind us. Sit down through the sit bones. So really lift through the pelvic floor again here. Press through both sit bones evenly. Engage the core, stay lifted for the inhale. As you exhale, start to walk your hands forward and start to lower your chest down towards the mat. Spine is nice and long, crown of the head reaching forward. Now your chest might not go down, just like me. I need to work on my hip flexibility. But wherever you get to, try to keep that length in your spine. Keep sending your hips back behind you. And then with every exhale, can you go a little bit deeper? So this is one of those poses, if you end up holding it for about 10 minutes, you'll notice you can go deeper and deeper and deeper every minute. We're going to stay for 2 more breaths here though. So think about rolling your inner thighs in and down towards the mat for a deeper stretch on those inner thighs. Take 1 more breath. And exhale. Start to walk those hands all the way back up. Bring your hands underneath your thighs. Just walk your feet into the center. And just windscreen wipering those knees from side to side. When you're ready, coming to roll onto your backs. We're going to take a final twist here. Excuse me. So drawing your knees up over your hips, flex the toes. Open the arms out into a cactus or a T shape. And as you're exhaling, drop the knees over to the right side. Keep both shoulder blades on the mat. Take your gaze over your left shoulder. You can always place your right hand on your left knee if you want a little bit more here. Or you can extend that left leg and reach for the outer edge of that left foot for a IT band stretch. And then when you're ready, come back to center, knees over your hips, roll over towards the other side. Again, option to take left hand on your right knee, gaze over your right shoulder. Or you can extend that top leg, reach around for the outer edge of your right foot. Sending both shoulders down. Take an inhale. And an exhale, come back to center. And then you can stay here, lying on your backs for Shavasana if you would like. You can always bring your feet to the outer edges of your mat, knees bent, and then into center. Whatever feels comfortable to you. I'm going to come up to a seated position. So if you want a few minutes of seated meditation, you feel free to join. Just finding a comfortable position that you can relax in for a couple of minutes. So tuning back into your breath here, just notice, are you breathing naturally? Are you breathing deeply? Are you relaxed? Are you holding tension anywhere in the body? Is your mind wandering? And that's okay if you're doing any of those things. With every exhale, just see if you can release that tension. Soften into those spaces where you may be feeling still that little bit of tightness. And if your mind is wandering, that's fine. Just acknowledge those thoughts. Be aware of those thoughts. But don't hold any attachment to them. Allow them to float away with your exhale. And then return your attention to your breath. And we start that cycle again. Taking a deep breath in, fill up the belly. Side out, exhale. Slowly start to bring some movement back. Maybe rolling your head side to side as we did at the beginning of practice. This time for the back of the head. Maybe you draw your knees to your chest. And then when you're ready, making your way to a comfortable seat at the top of your mat. Hands at Anjali Mudra, heart center. And before we take our final cleansing breath, for the last time, just remind yourself of that intention you set. That dedication for your practice, what you are grateful for today. I am very grateful for you allowing me to guide you in this practice this morning. I hope you've enjoyed it. We'll take a big inhale together. And sigh, exhale. Namaste.